Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to Fahrenheit. Here it appears Lucas has a call coming back home to his lovely apartment. Oh well, we don't have to answer the phone. We're Lucas Kane. We answer to nobody. But yeah, one odd thing you might be noticing is that we can't exactly interact with anything. And some of our surroundings seem a bit off. But that phone's getting annoying, so might as well answer it.
Lucas Kane.
Oh my god, the house is closing in. Yes, indeedy. This entire part's gonna be dedicated to let's just shit on Lucas Cage's day. Lucas Cage? Whatever, Lucas Kane. Kane, Cage. Nah, I'm not gonna assume David Cage is that egotistical, but yes, everything in Lucas's house is trying to kill him. His furniture, his cardboard boxes, his telephone, his fridge, his television, by god, even his self-esteem. Dear lord, this must be a schizophrenic's worst nightmare, but then again, you'd also have to wonder, what exactly you'd have to be doing to see and experience things of this nature. Well, in this game we have an answer. In real life, we do not. Incidentally, on the off chance I don't ever get around to covering Heavy Rain, yeah, it's also implied, since again, both Heavy Rain and Fahrenheit take place in the same universe, something that becomes incredibly weird to justify when you see some of the ending events of this game. But, yeah, in one of the endings of Heavy Rain, to give slight spoilers, yeah, it's also implied that Ethan Mars and Lucas Kane actually know each other, and that, yeah, Lucas arranged for Ethan to have this apartment with, his surviving son, Sean Mars. So, yeah, does this mean that Ethan would have to deal with stuff like this? Who knows, really, but, yeah, either way though, to kind of continue onto the path of things going on. Yes, why is Lucas's apartment attacking him? Who knows really? But I guess we shall soon find out as, yeah, as we're gonna be seeing soon, this is more as a result of our mysterious hooded friend, the same one who ordered a coffee and didn't bother to pay the tab. Truly, that is his worst crime, I can forgive the possession, I can forgive the, the series of murders that he seems to be responsible for, but not paying your part of the, diner bill, that's crossing the line, and that's why he must be stopped. But yeah, in the meantime though, the section, despite the fact that I pretty much lost a good chunk of my lives earlier on, isn't too difficult. It's really just more a matter of, more a matter of my eyesight here, really, because against the black and dark background of Lucas's apartment here, the prompts are reasonably visible. It's just at some other aspects later in the game where, it's a little bit brighter out, and, I guess to kind of keep the visual clarity of the scene going on without having the prompts be distracting, they sort of opaque them a little bit, but yeah, sometimes they get a little bit hard to see, and, again, on normal mode, if you happen to not react to them very well, yeah, kind of makes them a little bit hard to sort of time, and then you get your ass kicked, and then you end up falling out into the city for your troubles. Because apparently the rest of the apartment has pretty much been severed from reality, and as a result, Lucas is pretty much here having to dodge everything which way and sideways. I will admit though, this is probably the first instance of Fahrenheit going a bit batshit insane, which I am all in favor of, but by that same token though, its efforts to sort of completely drive him off the deep end in more ways than one is kind of fucking ridiculous here really, because they're using literally everything in his house to try and kill him, to the point where, again, it sort of gets a bit ridiculous to the point where, well, you know what, you'll be seeing in a little bit, but, yeah, if the structural integrity of his house collapsing is enough to torment you, as everything tries to fucking pip this dude, yeah, I guess we've escaped the worst of it. There's nothing else this house can throw at us now. But no, even the structural integrity of our apartment is falling to bits, and even though there is conceivably nothing holding this place up, it's just sort of like, well, again, if you wanted to, kill him off, easy, quick, smart, then there are much more efficient ways than this, but, well, then again, as you can no doubt tell by the fact that these aren't really conforming to the laws of reality, yeah, this isn't exactly what's really going on, as Lucas is just standing on what little ground remains him. You must make a physical effort to run away, even though running away at this point isn't really going to do much of anything else, but then again, it is also running on dream logic, and again, when you're having a dream, you can't exactly tell that you're in a dream, so yeah, thanks to Mr. Hooded Man, we're pretty much suffering at this rate, while he laughs at us from beyond the realm of known things.
Lucas's terrifying story haunted me all night long. I had to see him, to talk to him. I had to find out what Agatha had told him. I wanted to look my brother in the eye and hear the truth. I'd never been to his apartment before, and it took me some time to find it.
So yes, a little surprise here, we actually have a fourth playable character in Fahrenheit, Marcus Kane. You only technically get to play as him as you get to play as him in 2 playable segments, but yeah, somewhat sadly, Marcus doesn't really get to do much, and yeah, actually, I mentioned beforehand how I didn't know what happened if, the choice to break off contact with Marcus affects this decision. Well, I mean, I was playing through Fahrenheit last night, as Lucas appears to be in danger, and no, it doesn't really affect anything. No, his brother's in danger. Come on, summon those priestly powers. You kick ass for the Lord, Marcus. Go, my son. Go. Save your brother in God and in blood. Priestly powers activate. But yeah, back onto more serious topics. Again, if you choose to break off contact with Marcus, this whole scene happens anyway. So the only difference that happens if you either choose to accept Marcus's help or break it off is that you either gain or lose mental health points by reconciling with your brother. Oh, and yeah, by the way, if you let Lucas drop here, both if you fail the physical effort scene or, just sort of ignore him, yeah, it's pretty much game over. So, yeah. Story, choices, nothing really.
Lucas, for God's sake! Have you lost your mind? What's come over you?
The walls were blown away, and the wind, the tempest,
Why did you do this, Lucas? Why?
Somebody tried to kill me.
For heaven's sake, Lucas! There's no one else here but you and I. You were all alone when I arrived. All alone, Lucas!
What's happening to me, Marcus? I don't know what's happening!
It'll be all right, Lucas. Everything will be fine. I'm gonna help you. You'll see. I finally convinced Marcus to let me go out. I'd slept most of the day, and he'd stayed to watch over me. I needed to get out and get back in touch with reality. My physical condition was deteriorating rapidly. My mental state wasn't much better. I could feel myself slipping away. I knew that it wouldn't be long before I lost it.
Hello, Detective Taylor Miles, New York Police.
The police, they found me.
So, now you'll have to make the sadistic choice. In this case, since you have pretty much a limited time before Tyler pretty much comes to interview Lucas, you have some time to pretty much tidy up your desk area and, well, pretty much hide any sort of evidence that you want to leave behind. Of course, that is a little bit less beneficial for Tyler, since, again, he's pretty much here to collect as much evidence to boost his mental health points and also to, get a little bit closer in on the case. But of course, it's beneficial for you to aid Lucas's escape by hiding as much evidence as you possibly can, so that you, obviously, don't get caught. There is actually a number of variances towards this segment, actually. First of all, if you remember back in, that little chapter during Carla's house segment, yeah, technically she can show up if you choose to have, Carla just sort of show up, of her own volition. Whereas, yeah, again, if you choose to let Tyler tag along, he pretty much takes care of the investigation, so I don't know if there are just differences, or it's pretty much just, Carla's lines pretty much automatically go to Tyler, so yeah, I don't know if there's much of a change there, but I mean, again, this section does play out a little bit differently depending upon, that lofty old gameplay mechanic that we haven't seen in a while. The suspicion meter begins to arouse. Arouse, arrays, rise up. Whatever. Either way, the point is that, yeah, there is a bit that can change here. It's all dependent upon how much suspicion you raise and how much evidence the characters collect here, really. So, okay, sit down, keep cool, keep calm. The police are here to investigate us. Lucas, you're a master criminal, much like Benny Fazio. You'll do fine. You'll do fine.
Hello, I'm Detective Tyler Miles, New York Police. Are you Lucas Kane? I just got a couple of questions for you.
Questions for me, officer? Certainly, I please to aim.
It's just that I don't really see how I could be of any help to you.
Well,
That's rather suspicious, Mr. Kane. If that is your real name, confess?
that this list came from here at the bank.
But yeah, you might be noticing that I'm failing these QuickTime event sequences, and gosh darn it, you found me out. I suck at interactive drama, darling.
Is there a way
But yeah, as you're going to be seeing a wee bit later, failing these actually does have a bit of a... I mean, it's a bit of a mechanical inversion here, really. The first of which is that, again, if you choose to complete some of these QuickTime event sequences, you pretty much get to have Lucas read Tyler's mind and, well, pretty much get a bit of a feel for what sort of questions he's answering and, you know, what his intent is in answering these questions. But the other reason of which is part of the reason why you don't want to answer these QuickTime events is because the bugs, they are back. So, yeah, you don't really want Lucas to, you know, pretty much complete the QuickTime event sequences, react to these events, and pretty much have Lucas sort of freak out in front of Tyler. So, yeah, that pretty much answers your question. It's a bit of a... It's a bit of a pish inversion of mechanics here, really, since, again, the game up until now wants you to complete these, but now it doesn't. I don't know. It is what it is here, really, so I'll just let the rest of the investigation play out, and you can enjoy the cutscene.
A witness helped us make a composite photo of the suspect. Would you mind taking a look at it for us? This remind you of anyone?
Hey, this looks like a lot of people I know. Could even be me.
Yeah, you're right. These composite photos can be a little vague. Sir, are you sure that you're all right?
I thought that... Excuse me.
Have you noticed anything unusual here at the bank lately? They already told me about what happened to this guy yesterday. I wonder if he's gonna mention it.
So, yeah, I mean, more or less it's in your best instance to more or less tell the truth in this case, because again, attempting to dodge the questions, well, it's quite naturally going to make you suspicious, and again, as reading Tyler's mind, you know, considering the fact that he's already investigated up to this point will point out, yeah, that pretty much ends up raising the suspicion meter. I remember I was actually experimenting with one of an earlier playthrough where, again, I had this whole interview scene as Carla, where, you know, I was pretty much doing the same sort of thing, except I was sort of trying to dodge all the questions. And I believe if they get suspicious enough, Carla will actually end up going like, so, where were you on the night of the diner murder? And then Lucas says, what? I wasn't there at the night of the murder. And then Carla pretty much goes, I don't remember asking you that question. You're under arrest. So again, if you raise the suspicion meter too much, you pretty much end up fucking yourself over by, well, you know, making yourself suspicious. I'm gonna fathom that you might get the same sort of result if you have Tyler here instead of Carla, but yeah, don't raise the suspicion meter too much, because otherwise, well, yeah, they might go for the trick question and pretty much use that to completely fuck you over. Rawr, buggies. What the fuck? By the way, I'm assuming that Lucas can probably still see these sorts of things anyway, so, yeah, I guess, like, not doing the QuickTime event sequences, you know, to kind of make a physical reaction in Lucas is pretty much there to show him not flinching in the face of completely fucked up stuff. Well, I mean, then again, I suppose compared to having his whole apartment destroy itself and attack him, I guess, you know, phantom bugs aren't really anything to worry about. But yeah, as Lucas decides to go off and have a panic attack and vomit in the sinks again, yeah, this is pretty much Tyler's opportunity to kind of go a bit above the law here, because, yeah, he doesn't exactly have an official search warrant to pretty much take evidence from Lucas's place or anything. So, yeah, any evidence that goes into to a court of law is going to be inadmissible here. So, yeah, that's kind of a cap of shit. I don't know, Tyler tapping into his old lifestyle, I suppose. Yeah, by the way, it's a good thing that, what's-his-face, Lucas's, partner, what was that guy's name again? Steven? Woodrow? Fuck it, whatever. That nerdy guy who spilled his coffee and thought, oh my god, Lucas is a creep. But yeah, the only two things you really have to sort of examine around here is pretty much the Richard III book that Lucas brought with him, you know, hence linking his interest in Shakespeare to The Tempest, and of course, basically nicking one of Lucas's pens so that you can pretty much confirm fingerprint evidence DNA, alongside, well, you know, Lucas's fingerprints in the steak knife. Though honestly, shouldn't that already be on record anyway, if you're gonna bring him in? Yeah, whatever. I mean, again, it wouldn't really be admissible in court, but then again, who knows really? I'm not really too sure how skeevy the legal system can be when trying to convict criminals, even officially.
You feeling better?
Yes, thanks.
Well, I don't have any more questions. I'll let you get back to work. Thank you for your cooperation, sir.
The noose is tightening. The police are closing in on me. They'll be back, and next time, they'll take me in. Agatha was my last chance. She's the only one who seems to understand what's happening to me. I just hope this time she'll give me some answers.
Oh yeah, don't worry, Agatha will have all the answers. Oh, the homeless man is gone. Oh well, I'm sure he found a lovely home down beneath the sewers or the subway. But yeah, you don't really have much of anything else to do, and don't worry, there is technically some answers you can glean out of Agatha's apartment, which I was trying to look for, but, well, I mean, the problem is with this playthrough specifically, I ended up completely sort of messing over the timing of which I was meant to get it, as well as the location I was meant to pick it up here, really. I technically guess where it is on the first go, in the sense that I'm pretty much, okay, not inside there, but basically inside the Crow Room. You'll pretty much end up finding a newspaper clipping from back in the 1920s, in regards to another murder that was, you know, incredibly similar to the same sort of murder that Lucas committed. Basically implying that, again, a lot of these murders that a mysterious hooded occultic figure has been committing this for, well over decades and, well, over hundreds of years, really. So, again, it isn't the first, nor is the last murder case that's been going on. And indeed, well, yeah, it's pretty much just sort of there to lead Lucas to seek out further answers in regards to the occult and its link towards, everything else. You find this inside the Crow Room, inside one of the cages, but sadly, Agatha's not really going to be of any help, for you see she is feeling dead tired.
Someone just went out the window.
Sir, I need to get your name before I can record your message. Sir, the police cruiser will be there in just a few minutes. Can you hear me, sir?
Agatha.
Yeah, by the way, I mean, again, it's kind of obvious what's happened to her at this point, but again, if you check Agatha's body, it's pretty much, yeah, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion, but again, if you choose not to examine her body, it's, you know, she's dead, and you don't lose 30 mental health points, you know, examining the obvious. So, again, this isn't a case similar to the kid where you can pretty much revive her or anything else.
She was the only one who could help.
So yeah, let's just punch Lucas in the dick. And of course, I've also informed the police. Kind of actually reminded me of a similar set piece in Heavy Rain when Scott and Lauren had to basically clean up the house and run away out of Manfred's store. Because somebody had been bleeded.
What brings you here, young man?
But yeah, it's pretty much a sort of that. I mean, again, this whole segment is pretty much there to give you a chance to, you know, gather as much evidence as you possibly can. Essentially going into the Crow Room, finding the newspaper clipping, and basically having one lead or another, but yeah, I completely fucked the timing on this one, and I also... Well, again, this was also the playthrough in terms of recording before I learned exactly where it was, so, yeah, I knew there had to be something in here, I just didn't know where it was, so, I mean, by the time I pretty much ran all around the house and desperately searched for something to sort of boost up Lucas's mental health points, I basically ran out of time and pretty much had to scalp her from the scene. Then again, though, like, I mean, I suppose from the fact... Actually, this does also kind of make that whole previous scene of Tyler investigating Lucas's area earlier on a little bit pointless, because again, I would have found Lucas's fingerprints at the scene of Agatha's death anyway, so... Yeah, that kind of makes that previous interrogation scene of, oh yeah, I'll just lift your pen and give it to people for inadmissible evidence, kind of pointless, really. Oh, then again, I suppose they used the evidence of him connecting him to Agatha's murder and maybe kind of linking that back, but... who knows, really. Flimsy examination of law, police procedure, and sort of incriminating Lucas, really. Again, I mean, I'd like to think that David Cage probably does have some idea of how the American legal system works, considering the fact that, you know, a fair majority of his games, you know, from Fahrenheit all the way through to, you know, Heavy Rain and Detroit I Become Human do have that sort of, you know, of a bent to them in terms of a gameplay story kind of thing, but yeah, I guess maybe it's the legal side of things that kind of confuses his French mind, for you see, in the French land, you can get away with the crimes provided you bribe the police with your smelly cheese and a bottle of wine that I made in my bathtub on the Eiffel Tower this morning. Oh, Monsieur Croquette! But yeah, if you want to know where the evidence you need to collect for Lucas is, go to the Crow Room, go right in the back and, yeah, fetch a key from the seed basket and you're good to go. So, catch you dudes and dudettes next time.
New York Police, anybody there? Hey, Kevin, call an ambulance. There's a body on the floor.
One night stand.